This is your Transformers The Last Night review. The film's about, it goes back into medieval times. Merlin possesses a staff that can control some type of dragon. It can be used to recreate Cybertron. Years later, the staff is uncovered. The world's searching for it. Something big is going to happen. Optimus Prime has left planet Earth. He went to find his creator, and the world is there to fight for themselves, leaving Cade Yeager pretty much the leader. There is no leader in this film. Cade Yeager is the one that has to step up since Optimus is gone. So we start off in medieval times. It's a giant battle between the medieval knights. I like the medieval stuff. I think it's pretty cool. The medieval knights are working with the Transformers here. Merlin, he visits the Transformer. The Transformer is a Cybertronian knight. He gives him a staff. Tells him to protect it because a great evil will come for it. So you go to present day. Isabella Moner, casted in this movie. She plays Isabella. How weird is that? So her and a couple of kids are walking through Chicago. Part of Chicago that is damaged by the events of Dark of the Moon. It's a restricted area. They can't be there. Not only that, they're also harboring a Transformers. They are declared illegal in this film. So TRF, which is another government agency, they are sent out there to kill the Transformer and save the kids. Mark Wahlberg comes to their rescue. Him and Bumblebee team up. They take out the KSI drones. Kennedy gets killed by one of the TSI drones early on. So they pretty much save the kids. They get him out there. TRF comes. They confront Mark Wahlberg, Bumblebee. Josh Duhamel makes his return. Happy that he's back. He explains to Bumblebee, explains to Josh Duhamel that the world has changed. So he gives him a free pass, but they put a tracker on him. So meanwhile, we're back on Cybertron. Optimus Prime is visiting his creator, Quintessa. Quintessa wants Optimus to fight alongside Cybertron, save Cybertron, kill all the humans on planet Earth. So she convinces Optimus to do it. Optimus agrees. However, not on his own terms. He is forced to do it. Quintessa puts a spell on him, and his eyes turn purple. So he has to follow Quintessa's orders. Back on Earth, we're in a meeting room. Glenn Morshower's back. He's in a room with Josh Duhamel, who plays William Lennox, talking about that something big's gonna happen. The astronomers found an object that's coming towards Earth. It's planet size, gonna do a lot of damage. A lot of the Decepticon occurrences are happening this year. A lot of weird stuff since Optimus left. And they're talking about Cade Yeager and what they're gonna do. So what they're going to do is they're going to track Cade Yeager, because Cade Yeager has knowledge that they need. In the process, Megatron kidnaps several TRF agents. And Morshower says, we're going to work with Megatron. We're going to get our agents back, but they're going to release several prisoners. And they do. One's name is Mohawk. One's name is Nitrozeus. And they introduce these robots, Suicide Squad style. Kind of cringe and weird. Didn't care for all that type of stuff. But, yeah, they have weird names. Mohawk, Nitrozeus, don't care. They all get wiped out in one of the later scenes. They were kind of useless. So they track Cade Yeager to a junkyard where the other Autobots are hiding. Isabelle is there. She sneaked into the junkyard with Mark Wahlberg. They're arguing back and forth whether if she could stay or not. She eventually proves her point why she's gonna help Mark Wahlberg fight the TRF and the Decepticons. Whatever. So TRF is on their tails, so is Megatron. They track down Cade Yeager. Cade Yeager and the girl, they escape to the city, a bunch of explosions. Megatron's team gets wiped out. Eventually, there's a robot there named Cogman. He meets up with Cade Yeager. And he tells him that there's a guy in England that needs your help. His name is Anthony Hopkins. And I forgot who the character that Anthony Hopkins played. But, yeah. He was part of the family called the Witwickens. So we see Anthony Hopkins come in with Mark Wahlberg. Vivian Wembley, another character introduced to the film, played by Laura Haddock. She's introduced. And they bring her together with Mark Wahlberg. And Anthony Hopkins telling them the story of the Transformers through the medieval times, talks about Merlin. And he says that Laura Haddock is related to Merlin. There's a staff that only she can possess that can save the world from future destruction. So they go on an adventure to find a staff, and the staff is in a submarine. TRF is also on their tails, so they place a tracker on them. They go inside some underwater spaceship. And while they're looking for the staff, Cade Yeager finds it. And he awakes the Cybertronianites that are down there. They're down there to protect the staff from Quintessa. TRF is also down there. They hear the noises that are going on. They're scared. They're freaked out. They see the robots. They start firing bullets at one another. They eventually confront Cade Yeager and Vivian Wembley, tell Vivian Wembley to drop the staff. They were about to shoot her, and all of a sudden Optimus Prime returns out of nowhere. Everyone is shocked, like, where's he been? But he takes the staff and he dares anyone to challenge him. So Optimus Prime, he turns heel. Bumblebee challenged him. There's a great fight between him and Bumblebee. And right when Prime's about to kill Cade Yeager, Bumblebee speaks. Like, hey Prime, I'm your friend. It's me, Bumblebee. And Prime was like shocked because he hasn't heard Bumblebee speak since Cybertron, which is another inconsistency by Michael Bay. Bumblebee has spoken since then. He spoke at the end of the first film. But, whatever. So Optimus Prime, he's sorry for what he's done. He's apologized. He apologized to Cybertronianites. Eventually Megatron comes. He takes the staff. He takes it to Quintessa. And this sets up for the grand finale in the United Kingdom. Anthony Hopkins is there. He wants his big moment. He sacrifices himself. Megatron kills him. The military arrives. Cade Yeager arrives in the United Kingdom. They're trying to reach a ship called the Ignition Chamber, which is where Megatron and Quintessa are at. And they're using the staff to make Cybertron come to Earth. So it's a giant fight scene. Robots are shooting at one another. Explosions. Airplanes are there. They're shooting down Cybertron, the Ignition Chamber. It's a great finale. Michael Bay does well as producing great grand finales. I love them all. However, this is the only fascinating part of the film. This film is not my favorite. It's okay. But this film's not my favorite. It's in last place. Like the beginning, like the end, that's about it. We see Megatron fighting Optimus once they reach the Ignition Chamber. Optimus Prime throws Megatron through a window out of the spaceship. So Megatron, I guess he's dead. And yeah, Cade Yeager, Vivian Wembley, they're dodging a bunch of debris and robots on the spaceship. Bumblebee and Optimus are fighting Quintessa. Quintessa gets defeated. And the Autobots and humans, they once again stand tall. And the Autobots, they go back home. And that's how they send off the Transformers in this movie. I think it was an alright send-off. Then there's a post-credit scene where they tease Unicron. Quintessa's there. Now, Quintessa did not get killed. Before Bumblebee shot Quintessa, she teleported. And she teleported to this desert where she's talking to someone about how to kill Unicron. Unicron is mentioned in this film. Say that like Earth is Unicron. Or something like that. This film is alright. It's not the best. It's my least favorite. It's okay. There are some things I like about it and things I don't like. The things I did like about it was seeing the medieval time stuff. I like that. That was pretty cool. I like Mark Wahlberg. He's better in this film. I like seeing Glenn Morshower back. I like seeing John Turturro back as Simmons. Josh Duhamel back is great. Reminds me of old times. I like Hopkins' character in this film. I love the fight scene between Prime and Bumblebee. Only if it lasted longer and if Prime was the villain till the end of the film. Things I don't like. Jared Carmichael is in this movie. This movie has another major casting change. Jack Rayner's not in this film. Nicola Peltz is not in this film. Stanley Tucci plays Merlin. So a major casting change. So some changes. Jared Carmichael did not like him in this movie at all. He did nothing in this film. He was useless. I don't like useless people. He's also kind of annoying too at some points. Didn't need to be there. Isabella Moner did not like her at all. She was again useless. I mean, I liked her for what she was, but she was hardly in the movie. The news media made a fuss about her in this movie. They were hyping her up, saying that she was going to be the hero of the franchise, but no, she was hardly in it. Now, because of her age, she's under 18. Maybe she couldn't have a lot of screen time. I don't know. Maybe it was Michael Bay. Maybe he just thought that Laura Haddock was more attractive and you can do a lot more with her because she's over age. You know what happens when Michael Bay sees an attractive woman? Yeah. Michael Bay has a history of that. Megan Fox, Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, Nicola Peltz, and Laura Haddock. He always has to bring in some of the most attractive women, pair them with a male counterpart, and yeah. I would not have brought in Laura Haddock. I would have used Isabella Moner as the hero of the franchise, be somehow related to Merlin. I don't know. The TC Unicron had an issue with that. It's kind of too late. I liked it, but it was too late. They should have done this years ago. Nemesis Prime, which was Optimus Prime's heel turn, did not like that. He was a bad guy for like 5 minutes. He fights Bumblebee. Bumblebee speaks. He's back to being the hero that we all know. He should be a bad guy till the end of the film. They did not need to do this whatsoever. Kind of useless here. Not needed. I also do not like Megatron. They kill him off again. I hate Megatron. To me, he's a joke. The first film, he was killed by the Allspark. Second film, he comes back. I'm fine with that. He kills Optimus. He redeems himself. But in the third film, they kill him off again. In the fourth film, he comes back as Galvatron with a hole in his chest. It's ridiculous. And in this film, he's back as Megatron. I believe he gets killed off again. He's thrown off the spaceship. Whatever. For an ordinary Michael Bay film, it was alright. It was okay. But the major problem I have with it is that they assembled a writer's team to come up with the next decade of Transformers movies. This is what they come up with. Yeah, not good. The box office showed his film make $600 million, which is half of what Age of Extinction made. This film is my least favorite. It's in last place. The fourth one is better than the fifth one. Transformers last night, it's okay. There are a couple things I liked about it. I liked the beginning, the end, the fight scene between Prime and Bumblebee. Like some of the actors back, but the only parts you need to see is the beginning and the end. The rest you can just skip and take a nap. You won't miss a whole lot. This film's okay. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Now my scale, here's my scale. 10 is perfect. Not a single issue. 9 is great. There might not be a lot of issues in it, or none at all, but it's not a perfect film. Something might be missing, so I'm going to give it a 9. An 8, it was good. It didn't reach that scale of a 9 or 10, but I still loved it anyway. A 7 is okay. Means I like you. You're okay. Few issues. I got the gist of you. 6 out of 10 is also okay. But I have a lot more issues than I would with a 7. So this film gets a 6. It's okay, but just a lot of issues, and it shows. This is Michael Bay's last film, so I don't know if he really cared that much about making this movie. He was kind of forced back into this film. Paramount brought him back. And of course, they made $1 billion for the last one. If you're Michael Bay, why would you say no to $1 million? You went, you're coming back anyway. So he came back, he did this film, and hopefully someone else can take over the franchise. But last night, it's okay. 6/10. And we're going to review Bumblebee. Get that on the channel sometime soon. Make sure you share, like, subscribe. And yeah, follow me on YouTube, Twitter, whatever. So yeah, goodbye.